Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I go home in 5 days. Almost there, we're almost there. I'm really tired. My sister got her wisdom teeth removed today. She has not, as of yet, had any complications, so that bodes well for me, considering I'm getting my wisdom teeth out with the same doctors and everything, so fingers crossed mine also go well. Anyway, apparently she, on the drugs that they give you, was very upset because she thought my father had left her at the dentist and just pieced. She was also convinced that because she was so numb and couldn't feel her own tongue, that the dentist had made a mistake and had chopped her tongue off. So she was also very upset about that for some reason. I mean, it would be terrifying to get your tongue cut off, but I don't know why she thought that that was the case. Although drugs and being confused and having a numb tongue might have something to do with it. Yeah, so she's doing all right. She's got her ice packs on her face, and she had 4 wisdom teeth, so she had to get them all removed. All 4, which is rough, but who knows? I don't know. Yeah, what else did I do today? I put new earrings in, just for something different, spice things up. I took my earrings out a little bit ago because I lost the back of one of them, and they're now my expensive earrings are in my jewelry box, and this is just a cheap pair because I thought it could be fun to do something else, something different. Yeah, and what else did I do today? Oh, I did an interesting study on cognitive aging in the psych department, where I ate a bunch of foods while my nose was plugged and had to recall memories that had to do with those foods from my childhood. I had very strong memories for all of them but 2, and that was green tea, which I don't really drink, and croissants. I just have no memories associated with croissants at all. But all of the foods, really, other than that, like, brought me back to a very specific memory. And that's a part of the way that I study. I have a very strong associative memory. I memorize things best when I can associate them with other things. So I do monthly playlists that I listen to when I study, and then when I go to take a test on the same material, I like to, if the opportunity is presented to me, listen to the same playlist or the same songs. Oh, it makes it a lot easier for me to do well. Another thing that helps is if I chew gum that's flavored, if the gum is the same flavor, kind of like what I did today, whereas like certain flavors like bring back certain memories. It's kind of like that, except chewing gum or mints, because I can't chew gum. I have a jaw condition where if I chew gum too hard, my jaw can pop out, and if it pops out, I can't get it back in. Then I have to go to the dentist and they have to break my jaw. So trying to avoid that. So I do not chew gum anymore, but I do use mints, essential oils, perfumes. Those are also super helpful if you have an associative memory. And when I was in middle school, I was convinced that I had a photographic memory. I loved the Cam Jansen stories when I was a little kid, and I was convinced that I was her and that I had a photographic memory because I had a very good memory. And so the only thing I knew as a kid was like good memory equals photographic memory, and you memorize exactly what you see, and that's it. That's your memory. So I was convinced that I had a photographic memory, but as I got older, I realized that's not exactly the case. I can recall like pieces of paper and things very vividly as long as I've seen them a few times, or have them associated with a certain smell, taste, sound, something like that. That can also trigger my memory. So that's what that study was. It was very interesting. I was part of, you know, one out of several versions of the study. So it was really interesting. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm yawning a lot today. What else did I do? Watched some TV. Went to research. I'm starting to get ready for my final presentation. Starting to make my final PowerPoint. I'm ready for a nice long nap, also known as a sleep. Kind of ready for a sleep. I found today the best thing on the internet, I think, period. Best thing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show Dance Moms at all, but I saw something really funny that was Kelly yelling at Abby, but it's ASMR. And so it was like a screen, like a recording from the show, and then instead of people screaming at each other and like talking in normal voices, it was like people whispering and like ASMRing. And I found out there's a bunch of them, and it's so funny to me because instead, like, there's a certain aesthetic to Dance Moms, which is like moms yelling at Abby Lee Miller and Abby Lee Miller yelling back. And this takes that aesthetic and does the opposite, where it's like, why did you tell my daughter she was blah, 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 blah? And it's like they're yelling, and their facial expressions, like it's a video from the show, so their facial expressions are like they're screaming at each other, they're so angry, but like all that comes out is a whisper, and it's just so funny to me. Sent it to my sister. She also thought it was really funny. Don't know if that's just because she's hopped up on drugs, but she also thought it was funny. So it's not just me, but I think it's hilarious. So if you have my Snapchat, check out my Snapchat story, because it's really funny. It's a video of a little bit of the Abby Lee Miller ASMR. So look up, if you're curious about it, Dance Moms, but it's ASMR, and or Abby Lee Miller ASMR. They're all really funny. Yeah, and that's really all I got going on. T-minus 5 days until I go home. Almost 4 because it's 7 p.m., so soon to be, Wednesday. Yeah. My days seem to blend into the next day. I seem to count it as the next day as soon as it hits 5 p.m. because then I'm done with work. So it kind of feels like it's the next day. All I've got to do is go to sleep, which can happen at any point, you know, if I'm this tired. Yawn! Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow, maybe a little bit earlier so I'm not as tired, even though it's not that late. I'm just exhausted. Alright, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!